What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Post-Gazette Pirates YouTube channel. Pirates fall in a blowout 12-3 here at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa to the Yankees. We've got your three takeaways. Andrew, just not a good game from the Pirates, and I think it started with some sloppy play in the early going.
Yeah, it really did. And, one play that really stands out to me is there was a foul ball that kind of landed in between Emmanuel Valdez and Joey Bart. We chatted with Joey Bart post-game. He said that he lost the ball in the lights. I tried to indicate to Emmanuel Valdez, hey, you go get it. At that point, it was too late. That was just the start of a really rotten inning that plagued Bailey Falter, who otherwise looked fine out there, but just a really sloppy start to the game, and the miscues felt like they went on from there. Bubba Chandler airmailed one pitch that went all the way to the backstop. Joey Bart had a pass ball. It wasn't the cleanest of games up here in Tampa.
Yeah, that foul ball finds the grass, gives, I believe it was, who's the center fielder?
Ooh.
Can't remember his name. We're going to keep rolling anyway. It's late. Regardless, Trent Grisham, who was starting. Yeah, we figured it out. Gives Grisham extra life. He draws a walk. He goes on to get out at second, but the inning continues with runners on. Runners come home on a single, and then a third run scores, as Andrew alluded to, on a pass ball by Bart. Sloppy play continues on. It's really the first time we've seen that kind of stuff happen with the Pirates starters this spring. And, I mean, you're going to expect that to a certain extent, but it's something you've got to see them kind of clean up quickly.
Yeah, it's something that really they've been on the opposite end of it, frankly, where they've been the aggressors, putting the ball in play, running wild on the base pass. We've seen that with guys like Jack Sawinski, who have taken a lot of stolen bases. It's been the inverse for the most part in the early goings, a relatively clean team play, but not the case here tonight. So certainly, if you're a Pirates fan, you probably chalk it up to just an off night.
Joey Bart, I know we mentioned some mistakes he made in the field. Had a great day at the plate. Had two of the team's three hits, a 3-run homer, and I believe the third inning, a no-doubter. A lot to like at the plate from Joey Bart.
Yeah, and you had a good tweet today mentioning how pretty much all the catchers for the Pirates have had really solid starts, offensively speaking. But I thought Bart, he was maybe one of the guys who was flying a little bit under the radar relative to what Davis and Rodriguez have done on the offensive end here early on in camp, which is only inevitable, right? Bart is the guy who Ben Cherington at the beginning of spring training said this guy has earned one of the two spots to be on the team as a catcher, understandably, considering how good of a year last year was. He's just kind of trying to pick up where he left off last year, continuing the offensive success he had, building upon it, being a better baseball player in all facets. But on the offensive side, we kind of got a reintroduction to what last year was so successful for him.
Yeah, and I think it's easier for Bart to kind of just focus on being him, building on his strengths when he has that confidence from the front office, from the organization, where, I mean, and I think that's applicable to a lot of guys, including Bailey Falter, who started today, where for most of their career, they're going into spring fighting for their life, trying to make the opening day roster, target on their back, as I believe the quote Falter used. And you could see Bart and Falter and other guys, the guys who know they're going to be okay, they're allowed to make mistakes this spring, if those mistakes are made trying to improve their game somewhere.
Right, and that's absolutely what the case is with Bart. We've seen it right now where when he's in the squat, he's trying to do a one-legged setup where that should allow him to cover the lower third of the strike zone better. Well, what's the negative side effect of that? Sometimes you're going to have some pass balls where you're not able to reach out to pitches that are outside your comfort zone necessarily as easily. That's what happened on the pass ball, where it was a pitch that most of the time, if Joey Bart is in the normal crouch, he probably gets. So it's just those little nuanced things that, in theory, they should benefit the Pirates long term. But there's going to be some kinks you have to work out in the spring.
Third takeaway: the young arms. Not a great night for them. Bubba Chandler, Hunter Barco both got roughed up pretty good.
Yeah, not particularly great. And Chandler, I thought that was a telling one. And this isn't to comment on anybody's maturity or things like that, but this is a big stage. This is playing against the Yankees. You're competing against guys like Aaron Judge. It's in Tampa at their ballpark. Airmails run to the backstop. It's clear that this guy still has some polishing to do. The stuff is undeniable. Chandler, there's a reason he's the top prospect by MLB Pipeline. He certainly has oodles of potential, but in terms of putting it all together, not quite yet a finished product. We saw a little bit of an example of why today. Hunter Barco, I'm maybe a little bit more bullish on, just because the velocity was outstanding. He hit 97 miles an hour with the sinker. He's a guy who typically profiles as low to mid-nines. He's got a really funky motion. If he can stick at 97, that's great. The only issue is today got roughed up for 4 runs.
He did. Allowed 2 home runs in the 8th inning, and he wasn't going against the same guys Bubba was either. I mean, he's going up against the minor leaguers, but again, this is the time to struggle. This is the time to kind of get beat up a little bit, and it doesn't really matter because it's spring training. Andrew, tomorrow, Red Sox coming to town. Quinn Priester against Andrew Heaney, the old guy versus the new guy. What are you looking forward to watching?
Well, I think our attention should be on Andrew Heaney, right? I mean, this is a guy we haven't seen him yet pitch in a Pirates uniform. He's only done some sides, not necessarily stuff that we've been able to get a read on where he's at velocity-wise. So somebody who, when he signed, he admitted candidly that, hey, he was throwing to JUCO guys back at home in Oklahoma. That was his latest live bullpen session look. So how does that translate a few weeks removed from facing JUCO guys? I would like to see that, but I don't know. It'd be cool to see Quinn Priester. Yeah, he's a guy they traded for, dealt him for Nick York. Priester evidently getting a chance to potentially take on a starting spot there in Boston, if not now, at some point in 2025. Things didn't work out in Pittsburgh. It's an appealing matchup.
I agree. I think it's probably one of the more intriguing storyline matchups we've had so far for spring. So be sure to follow along. He's Andrew Destin. I'm Noah Hiles. Follow all of our work at Post-Gazette.com and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't already at PG Pirates. We'll be back again tomorrow for more recaps here on the PG Pirates YouTube channel.